I'm Leon, and today we're going to review the Nerf Modulus Demolisher. Huh? Hold on. This isn't modern Nerf. And it isn't at all, actually. Yeah, this is just going to be a re-release of this guy, the Elite XD. Yeah, you guys remember that? Demolisher 2-in-1. Like, this is a full-on re-release with all the same plastic quality. Like, literally the exact same blaster. This might not seem exciting, but it is. Because it's a re-release of a really cool blaster in 2013. The only difference is the paint color. The included stock is the same. The included mag is the same, being the 10-round banana mag with the hump, the classic style. And everything is the same except for the paint job. So, forgive me if I'm a little excited, but we haven't seen this Nerf in a very long time. And bonus, this thing is only $23, found at Amazon. So I'll go ahead and start with sort of the base blaster, and then I'll eventually move to the rocket launcher, which is typically why or why not you'd run a Demolisher. So to start, the base blaster is a magazine-fed flywheel blaster that's semi-auto from the Nerf Modulus line, formerly from Elite. To go ahead and fire, go ahead and pull the rev trigger. This will allow the flywheels up here to go ahead and spin, and then you pull the trigger once to fire once. Pretty simple. Pretty standard Nerf flywheeler. It's what you see is kind of what you expect. To be honest, there isn't really too much here to talk about because it's just a return to form and the re-release of an absolutely excellent blaster. So let's go ahead and just talk what you can do to it. To start, it's got quite a few attachment points. 2 rails, one on the side, one on the top, a barrel attachment point, and right here where the stock is located is an end strike stock attachment point. This is compatible with basically any end strike stock. You're not going to have any issues with it. The barrel, however, has a little bit of a situation. Normally, your barrel attachments to sort of accommodate anything, but because of the rocket launcher, barrels like the Modulus barrel extension work fine. Enough clearance for the rocket launcher, albeit this rail kind of sort of gets in the way, but it's not super bad and like a super big detriment, but certain barrels are actually. This is the Modulus barrel strike, and it can't really go anywhere. Even with the rocket taken out, this thing can't fully head down. So your big barrels that are pretty vertical, like the barrel strike itself, won't really work on the Demolisher. That's okay, you know. You don't really need an undergun when you have an under missile launcher, but you should be okay, and definitely keep in mind that these guys won't necessarily work. The good news is that the rails are compatible with basically everything, the stock is compatible with basically everything, so nothing really to worry about. Also, despite the missile launcher, you can see that the banana mag has enough clearance. This is true for a bunch of mags, Worker 22s, all of your drums, and stuff like the 18s. So no matter the size of the mag, you'll be perfectly fine. You can see that there's more than enough clearance in the front to even hold the thing if I was playing it like this. So you'll be perfectly fine regardless, especially if you're just running something like a drum, 35, 25. Regardless, it'll work perfectly fine in the Demolisher. And the good news is, we actually get a couple really cool additions with it. First, the other side of the blaster. It's going to have the battery door right here. This is sort of the only thing that's not symmetrical on the thing, besides the other rail on this side. It's going to take 4 AA batteries, exactly as you would expect. It's typical Nerf flywheel performance, but that's not a bad thing. Up top is probably the greatest access door that Nerf has ever made. Like, seriously. This thing slides back, slides forward. It's so, so nice. And look at the amount of space you get on it. That's really, really nothing to sneeze at. Absolutely crazy amount of space. And if you take out the mag, you got all that space for you. So yeah, your jams, you've got every ounce of space. Plus, the one cool thing about the sort of clicky sort of access doors is the fact that every time you do a reload, if you're really into sort of the real steel rack the slide kind of thing, you can do that with the top access door and just feel really cool. It's something I've kind of gotten into the habit of doing just because I like how it feels. So being able to put in a fresh magazine and then rack the slide is a lot of fun. It's not something required to make the blaster function, but it's just that extra coolness factor that just makes you just really enjoy the Demolisher. Down to the grip, a couple things to talk about. First, the mag release. This is not a trigger guard mag release. This is one of their more traditional mag releases, which, oh my god, I've missed so much. Like, actually. This accommodates both your thumb style of reload and your pointer finger or middle finger style of reload. And it works fantastic. This mag release, I wish they never changed it. This is absolutely fantastic. And so is the whole grip. Rev trigger's comfortable, main trigger's comfortable. Yeah, there's really nothing to hate here. A couple of things to talk about. First, sling mount in the grip in case you wanted to run this thing as a secondary, but this thing is pretty much a primary. And 2 sling mounts on either side of the barrel, which is fine. Truthfully, I know what you're here for. The missile launcher. The missile launcher is probably one of the main reasons why you'd buy a Demolisher over something like the Strike, because it's an air-powered missile launcher. That does mean you've got a couple of things to worry about. First, how far these fly is dependent on how strong you pull it back. For example, something like that is going to go really far because I put a lot of force behind it, but if I reload from the included storage stock, if I pull very softly, it doesn't even leave, which is, you know, something to definitely keep in mind. So the stronger you pull at it, the more it will fly. So it is pretty user dependent. But apart from that, there's no way to remove it. It's permanently attached to the Demolisher, so I hope you like it. Of course, you can always cut it off, but why would you? It's pretty cool. And this is sort of the main selling point of why Demolisher over something like the Moto Blitz or over something like the Strife. But that's pretty much all I really need to talk about, so let's go ahead and see it fire. Shooting a full mag of Elites and switching to E-Kind waffle pipes. Chills. Once again, this is a re-release of this. So if you want a taste of what old Nerf, like the company that innovated, the company that made quality blasters, the company that you weren't afraid to spend an extra $5 or $10 on because their blasters were built well, this is that. And this isn't the first or second time we've seen the Demolisher. The first one was the orange one. The second one was the Ultimate Customizer Pack, which cost like $100 and came with a whole variety of attachments. But then they just released it outright as just the Demolisher, and this is one of the best Nerf releases in recent times. I know. It sucks to say that out loud. You already know my opinion of this thing. So, truthfully, I don't really need to share it. I've got no complaints. This blaster is awesome. And there is a situation where you want to run one. But there's also not really a reason to skip out on this one. And let me tell you the biggest shock of this blaster. I was expecting to see Modulus darts. This is the best one I can find because they're old. The white Elite darts, Modulus darts. Instead, I was opening a pack of these classic blue Elites. I didn't know how much I missed that feeling until I opened this blaster. I've got tons of gameplay experience with the orange one you see down here. This is the exact same thing. They're reliable, they're fun, and missiles, if they have that sort of extra spice in your game modes, are just really nice to have around. The Demolisher is fantastic, and it's really got one of my highest recommendations just because it's a callback to when times were good. at least for Nerf. Of course, I will sort of get into the technical details of a couple of critiques I have. First, when a rocket is in the stock, it can be a little hard to want to mount your face on it, just because the rocket is right here. It's not a deal breaker by any means, and truthfully, I'm perfectly fine shooting like that, but it's fine. It's there. It's nothing to really worry about. Second, if your sort of game type doesn't value missiles in any extra way, a couple of blasters, especially the Moto Blitz, might actually be a better pickup. This blaster is still phenomenal in every single way, but if you don't really have a reason for missiles, it can be quite a hassle carrying them on you. But if you just carried the two, the one in the stock and the one in the blaster, you should be okay. But if your game type overvalues missiles, this is a no-brainer. It's no dedicated rocket launcher. It's a capable semi-auto primary with a rocket launcher basically taped to it. There's really no beating that. The Demolisher plays like any normal flywheeler, which means it plays well. It's a truthfully very fantastic blaster and is very deserving of your love. Sure, you might not need rockets all the time, but if you do, it's good to have them. It's good to be your team's sort of corner clearer, at least whatever you might want to use this thing for. I don't know what your game types do. My game types give these a radius of 3 feet, and they also explode on impact, and they also break shields. There's a couple of things that my players know about missiles, and we run missiles that way. So they have a decent value to us. But to you, they might just be bigger darts, which, hey, it's fun, but nothing to really want to warrant a whole loadout about. But yeah, that's my review of the Demolisher 2-in-1, or the Modulus Demolisher. It's really a hallmark of when Nerf used to be really good. And I won't lie, I miss those days when I could say, oh, you can pay the extra bucks for the Nerf blaster because it's going to be built of higher plastic. Of course, in this case, you don't actually have to do that because it's $23 and it's built of the higher quality plastic, so yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. But I'd like to take a second to sort of talk about a couple of things. First, this blaster was a viewer request, and I am very, very thrilled about that. If by any chance you'd like to see a blaster review specifically by me, please feel free to leave a comment anywhere. I have a small enough channel right now where I can go ahead and read those comments, and I do read your comments. And, well, I'd like to just say real quick on this review, thank you guys for 100 subscribers. I am very happy with how things have been going. And it's been decently motivating to see you guys' very, very positive comments, just telling me how blasters are, asking me to review things. I do read your comments, and you guys have been very, very kind to me, which I appreciate. So, if you've got anything you'd like to see me review, let me hear it. I can only really guess what you want to see. And at the end of the day, when you tell me directly what you want to see, I can go ahead and let you know if I got experience with that blaster. I used to play the Demolisher as my main for a little bit, so I've got plenty of experience with this blaster, which let me know I could make a nice review on it. But if you like what I do around here, please feel free to like and subscribe, and promote me if you'd like to. I'm still a small Nerf channel, I'm still growing, and I'm very happy with where we are, but I want to see some more people come in. And I would be overjoyed if some more people came in as well. So feel free to promote me, do whatever you need to do. But even if you don't, I still appreciate you taking the time to watch all of my reviews, all of my head-to-head videos, and whatever else I might make. But hey, remember, regarding blasters, only buy them if you need them. You don't need to jump to buy them just because a reviewer told you to. And as always, take it easy. And thank you for 100 subscribers. It really does mean the world to me.